The space around the asterisk horizon asterisk was quiet. Commander Elena Reyes stood on the bridge, her eyes fixed on the strange blue planet ahead. The ship's sensors had picked up unusual energy readings from this system 3 days ago. Now they were here to find out why. "Scan complete, Commander," said Officer Chen from her station. "The planet is mostly water, and there's life. Lots of it." Elena nodded. Humanity had met 5 alien species since they began exploring space 50 years ago. All 5 were already part of the Galactic Concord, a group of advanced civilizations that shared knowledge and resources. Humans wanted to join this group badly, but the Concord kept saying they weren't ready yet. "I'm detecting artificial structures underwater," Commander Jackson Wee said, pointing to the screen. "And wait, something's coming up from the ocean." A small craft rose from the planet's blue surface. It was smooth and glowed with soft lights that pulsed like a heartbeat. "They're sending a message," Chen said. "Audio and visual." "Put it on screen," Elena ordered. The main screen filled with the image of a creature unlike any Elena had seen before. It had blue-green skin that glowed in patterns. Its large eyes were completely black, and it had no nose, just small slits where one should be. 4 slender arms moved gracefully as it spoke, its voice like water flowing over stones. "Greetings, Earth vessel. I am Lumiax of the Navi. We welcome you to Aquilon." Elena stepped forward. "I am Commander Elena Reyes of the Earth Expeditionary Vessel Horizon *. We come in peace." "We know of humans," Lumiax said. "The Concord has spoken of you." Elena felt a surge of pride. "We hope to join the Concord soon." The aliens' glow patterns shifted to darker blues. "You may wish to reconsider that goal, Commander. The Concord is not what it appears to be." Wei stepped closer to Elena and whispered, "Careful, Commander. This could be complicated." "Please explain," Elena said to Lumiax. "We were once members of the Concord. For 300 years, we shared our knowledge and lived in harmony with the other species. But now they have abandoned us. They have left our entire race to die when our planet's ecosystem collapses." Elena couldn't hide her shock. "Why would they do that?" "They say we are compromised." Lumiax's voice wavered. "They fear what they do not understand." "Your planet is dying?" Elena asked. "Yes. Our scientists give us less than 1 Earth year before total collapse. The Concord has placed warning beacons around our system. No ships will come to help us." Wei pulled Elena aside. "Commander, we need to be careful here. Getting involved in Concord politics could damage Earth's application." Elena looked at the alien on screen. Its glow had dimmed, like hope fading away. "How many of your people are there?" she asked. "Just over 9 million, Lumiax replied. 9 million people, abandoned to die." Elena made her decision. "Lumiax, I can't make promises for all of Earth, but I will bring your case to our leaders. We won't just turn our backs without trying to help." The alien's skin brightened. "Thank you, Commander. That is more than anyone has offered in a very long time." As Elena ended the transmission, Wei looked at her with concern. "I hope you know what you're doing," he said. Elena watched the alien ship return to the ocean. "So do I, Jackson. So do I." The United Earth Council chamber was filled with angry voices. Elena stood in the center, facing the 24 leaders who represented all of humanity. She had just finished telling them about the Navi and their dying world. "This is not our problem," shouted Councilor Rodriguez from the Mars colony. "We need to join the Concord. Helping these aliens could ruin everything we've worked for." Chancellor Martina Okor raised her hand for silence. She was a small woman with gray hair and sharp eyes that missed nothing. "Commander Reyes," she said, "you believe these Navi are telling the truth." "I do, Chancellor," Elena replied. "Our scans confirm their planet is dying. The ocean temperatures are rising quickly, and toxic gases are building up in their atmosphere." Dr. Anaya Singh, Earth's top expert on alien biology, stepped forward. She was tall with dark skin and a quiet voice that still commanded attention. "The Na'vi are remarkable," she said, showing images on the large screen. "Their bodies produce light that they use to communicate. Their brain structure suggests they may be even more intelligent than humans. But why did the Concord abandon them?" asked Counselor Kim from the Asian Alliance. Elena took a deep breath. "We asked our Concord contacts about this. They finally told us that the Na'vi are infected with something called the void taint. It affects their brains and can spread to other species." The room erupted in fear. "And you want to bring them here?" Counselor Rodriguez yelled. "Are you insane?" Chancellor Oko stood up. "Quiet, all of you." The room fell silent. "Dr. Singh," she said, "can this taint infect humans?" "I don't know," Dr. Singh admitted, "but the Concord has given us no proof it can spread. They've only given us warnings." Commander Wei, who had been quiet until now, spoke up. "The Concord has quarantined the entire Aquilon system. No ships can enter or leave. They're just waiting for the Na'vi to die." Elena looked around the room. 9 million people. That's how many will die if we do nothing. Is that the kind of species we want to be? The kind that turns away when others need help? Chancellor Oko walked slowly around the table. "The Concord has denied our application 3 times now. They say we're too aggressive, too emotional. Maybe they're right about the emotional part." She stopped and looked at the images of the glowing Navy. "We have a research base on Europa," she said. "Under the ice. Conditions there could support the Navy." "Chancellor," Counselor Rodriguez protested, "if we do this, the Concord will never accept us." Oko's eyes flashed. "If the Concord would let an entire species die because of a disease, instead of finding a cure, then perhaps we don't belong with them after all." She turned to Elena and Dr. Singh. "You have my authorization to begin planning an evacuation of the Navy to Europa. Commander Wei, your job is to keep this operation as quiet as possible for as long as possible." As the meeting ended, Dr. Singh approached Elena. "You know this won't be easy. Moving 9 million people across space to an underwater base on a moon." Elena nodded. "Nothing worth doing ever is." Outside the council chamber, a message was already being sent to the Concord from an unknown source. Humans planning to save the Navy. The ice tunnels of Europa base hummed with activity. Dr. Singh watched as workers expanded the underwater chambers that would soon hold thousands of Navy refugees. The base had been built for only 200 human scientists. Now it needed to house millions. Will it be ready in time? Elena asked, joining Dr. Singh at the viewing window. "We're working as fast as we can," Dr. Singh replied. "The Navy need water with specific minerals. We're creating it now, but it's slow work." Their conversation was interrupted by a communication alert. Commander Wei's face appeared on the screen. "We have a problem," he said. "A Concord ship just entered Earth orbit. They're demanding to speak with Chancellor Oko immediately." Elena felt her stomach tighten. We knew they'd find out eventually. Back on Earth, Chancellor Oko stood in the diplomatic hall facing Ambassador Sithri of the Concord. Sithri looked like a giant praying mantis, standing nearly 8 feet tall with compound eyes that reflected Oko's image back at her multiple times. "Your actions are unacceptable," Sithri's translator conveyed in a flat voice. "The Navy are quarantined for the safety of all civilized species." Oko stood her ground. "We've seen no evidence that this void taint is as dangerous as you claim. If it's a disease, why not help cure it instead of letting an entire species die?" "The taint is not a simple disease." Sithri's mandibles clicked rapidly. "It is a corruption of mind and spirit. There is no cure." "We'll find that out for ourselves," Oko replied. "Humanity does not abandon those in need." Sithri's body stiffened. "Then humanity has made its choice. If you proceed with this rescue operation, Earth will never be admitted to the Concord. Furthermore, we will implement trade restrictions against all human colonies." After the ambassador left, Oko contacted Elena on Europa. They know, she said simply. How soon can you begin evacuations? The Horizon is already on its way back to Aquilon, Elena replied. We can transport about 5,000 Nevi per trip. That's not enough. Ocho frowned. I'm authorizing all available ships for this mission. Operation Lifeboat begins now. On Aquilon, the situation was getting worse. When Elena arrived with the Horizon and 5 other large transport ships, she found the oceans heating up faster than predicted. Many Navi had already died. Luniax met them at the designated evacuation point, his skin barely glowing now. We feared you would not return, he said. We keep our promises, Elena replied. We've prepared a place for your people on Europa, one of our moons. It's under ice, but there are vast oceans there too. As the first groups of Navi were carefully moved onto the ships, Dr. Singh studied them with her instruments. This is strange, she said to Elena. The taint that the Concord fears so much. I can only detect it in about 1 out of 20 Navi. The rest show no signs of infection. Why would the Concord abandon all of them for something that affects so few? Elena wondered. Dr. Singh shook her head. I don't know, but I intend to find out. As the ships filled with refugees, a Concord patrol vessel appeared at the edge of the system. It made no move to interfere, but its presence was a clear warning. They're watching us, Wei said. Elena nodded. Let them watch. Let them see what humanity stands for. Dr. Sarah Collins woke up screaming. The nightmare had felt so real. Dark water closing in, voices whispering in her mind. She had been working on Europa base for 3 weeks now, studying the Navi refugees who had begun arriving in large numbers. Third nightmare this week, she muttered, checking the time. It was only 4 a.m., but she knew she wouldn't sleep again. In the main research lab, she was surprised to find Dr. Singh already working. Couldn't sleep either. Dr. Singh asked without looking up from her microscope. Bad dreams, Sarah admitted. I keep hearing voices in my head. Dr. Singh finally looked up, her expression concerned. You're the 7th person to report this. Maybe we should check you for taint exposure. Meanwhile, in another part of the base, a group of Navi were gathered in their new water habitat. Their skin patterns glowed in complex sequences as they communicated without words. In the observation room, Commander Wei watched them with growing suspicion. They're hiding something, he told Elena when she joined him. Look how they always gather in that corner where our cameras don't work well. Elena frowned. They've lost their home, Wei. They're scared and in a strange place. I think it's more than that. We insisted. I've been digging into the historical records we recovered from Aquilon. The Navi weren't always open with us about their past. He showed her images on his tablet. About 50 years ago, they discovered ruins deep in their ocean. Ancient technology from a civilization nobody knew about. That's when the first cases of void taint appeared. Before Elena could respond, an alarm sounded. In the medical ward, a Navi patient had broken out of its tank and was trying to access the base's communication system. Security officers surrounded it, but the Navy's skin flashed with angry red patterns. Please, it said in broken human language, not using its translator. Message, must send, others wait. Dr. Singh arrived and managed to calm the Navi, helping it back into water. Afterward, she met with Elena and Wei. The taint is spreading, she reported grimly. More Navi are showing symptoms, and now humans are experiencing effects too. The nightmares, equipment failures near infected Navi. It's all connected. Back on Earth, protests had broken out in major cities. News of the alien plague had leaked, and many people were demanding an end to the refugee program. Chancellor Oko faced the angry United Earth Council. The situation is under control, she insisted, though her tired eyes told a different story. We have reliable information that it is not, Councillor Rodriguez said. I moved to terminate Operation Lifeboat immediately. Alina was called to an emergency meeting with Lumiax. For the first time, she noticed faint dark patterns under his glowing skin, signs of the taint. "You haven't been honest with us," she said directly. "What really happened in those ruins your people found?" Lumiax's glow dimmed to almost nothing. "We found something ancient, something that was waiting. The Concord calls it the void taint, but it is not a disease, Commander. It is a consciousness, an intelligence trying to communicate across species barriers." "An intelligence?" Alina asked, shocked. "Yes," Lumiax replied. "One the Concord has encountered before, and fears above all else. They did not abandon us because we were sick. They abandoned us because we know their secret." The laboratory door locked behind Dr. Singh with a heavy click. She had made her decision. She would expose herself to the taint under controlled conditions. Alina and Wei watched anxiously from behind the safety glass. "This is too dangerous," Wei argued. "We should wait for more research." "We don't have time," Dr. Singh replied, preparing the sample taken from an infected Navi. "Earth wants answers now." She placed the sample against her skin and waited. At first, nothing happened. Then her eyes widened, and she gasped. "Dr. Singh." Alina called through the intercom. "Are you all right?" When Dr. Singh looked up, her eyes had a strange glow. "I am not alone anymore," she said in a voice that sounded both like hers and not hers. "But I am still me." Through Dr. Singh, the entity identified itself. "I am Echo, a fragment of what once was. Before the Concord, my kind spanned the stars." Wei reached for the alarm, but Alina stopped him. "Let's hear what it has to say." Echo, speaking through Dr. Singh, explained that it was not trying to harm anyone. It was a living library, preserving knowledge that the Concord had systematically destroyed during its rise to power. "The Concord built their civilization on the ruins of mine," Echo said. "They took our technology, our discoveries, and erased all evidence that we existed. They fear me because I remember." Later, after the entity retreated and Dr. Singh returned to normal, Alina, Wei, and Dr. Singh met privately. "I could feel its thoughts," Dr. Singh explained. "It wasn't trying to control me. It was sharing." Wei remained skeptical. This could all be manipulation. The Navi tried to access our communication systems. What if they're trying to spread this thing further? Their discussion was interrupted when Admiral Koda arrived at Europa Base with 3 military ships. The tall, stern woman had orders from Earth to implement stricter security measures. "Chancellor Oko is under intense pressure," she told them. "We need to contain this situation before it gets worse." That night, as new rules went into effect restricting Navi movement within the base, tensions rose. A group of security officers confronted some Navi who were gathered in an unauthorized area. The situation quickly escalated. "Move back to your designated habitat," a security officer ordered. The Navy's skin flashed with distress patterns. One of them moved forward, trying to communicate, but the nervous officers misinterpreted the movement. Weapons were drawn. Both humans and Navi were injured in the chaos that followed. As Alina helped restore order, she made a discovery that changed everything. In the private quarters of a Navi elder, she found records showing that Eco had been influencing the Navi for generations, subtly guiding their evolution. They'd been carrying pieces of Echo's consciousness for centuries, Alina told Dr. Singh and Wei. The Concord doesn't fear the harm Eco might cause. They fear the truth it carries. Dr. Singh nodded slowly. That explains why human brains process the taint differently. We have no history with Echo, so it can communicate with us without the same effects. Wei, who had been examining the security footage from the confrontation, looked up with a troubled expression. "If we keep fighting this, we'll destroy ourselves and the Navi. But if Echo is telling the truth," Alina finished his thought, "then the Concord isn't the peaceful alliance we thought it was." She made her decision. Instead of fighting Echo's influence, we need to work with it. We need to find a way to communicate safely, A controlled symbiosis. That's exactly what the Concord fears most, Wei said quietly. Alina's eyes were determined. Good. 50 Concord ships appeared in the solar system within hours of each other. They positioned themselves in a wide circle, blocking all routes in or out. Earth's small fleet of defense ships looked like toys next to the massive alien vessels. Ambassador Xithri's face filled the screens in the United Earth Council chamber. His mandibles clicked rapidly, showing his anger. Your time has run out, the insectoid diplomat announced. The Concord has made its final decision. Remove all Navi from Europa and surrender them to us for processing, or face permanent exclusion from galactic society. Chancellor Oko stood firm. What exactly does processing mean, Ambassador? That is not your concern, Xithri replied coldly. After the transmission ended, the Council erupted into argument. Half wanted to give up the Navi to protect Earth's future, while the others refused to hand over refugees to an uncertain fate. We have a right to know what will happen to them. Councillor Kim shouted above the noise. On Europa, Dr. Singh entered the emergency meeting. Her eyes still had a faint glow. Echo's influence remained with her, though she controlled it now. She projected images onto the main screen. I've uncovered something disturbing, she said. Echo has shared memories with me. The Concord has done this before. 7 other species who encountered Echo fragments were completely eradicated. The room fell silent as images of extinct civilizations appeared on screen. The Concord doesn't want to contain the taint, Dr. Singh continued. They want to eliminate all knowledge of Echo and the civilization it represents. Admiral Koda studied the tactical display showing the Concord blockade. We can't fight them. Their technology is far beyond ours. Meanwhile, Alina and Wei were working with Lumiax in a secure lab. They had developed a theory about the taint and human brains. Look at these brain scans, Alina pointed to the screen. When Echo communicates with humans, it doesn't take over our neural pathways the way it does with other species. Somehow, human brains process the taint differently. Wei nodded. That's why the Concord is using isolation instead of direct attack. They're afraid we might succeed where other species failed. We might actually be able to communicate with Echo without losing ourselves. Back on Earth, Chancellor Oko called for the final vote. The council chamber was tense as each member cast their vote. When it was done, Oko stood before the transmission device. Ambassador Xithri, I speak for a united Earth. We will not surrender the Navi. They came to us for help, and we gave our word. The response was immediate. Then you have chosen your path, Chancellor. The blockade will remain in place until you reconsider or until the last Navi is gone from your system. As the transmission ended, Oko turned to her military advisors. Activate the solar defense grid. It won't stop them if they attack, but it shows we're serious. All across the solar system, defense platforms that had been built to protect against asteroids powered up their weapons. It was humanity's only shield against the Concord fleet. On Europa, Lumiax approached Alina as she watched Earth news reports about the blockade. Your people are risking everything for mine, the Navy said, his skin glowing with patterns of gratitude. Why? Alina thought for a moment. Because that's what humans do. When we see someone drowning, we jump in to save them, even if the water is dangerous. Even if that means drowning yourselves. Lumiax asked. Alina smiled grimly. We're pretty good swimmers. Admiral Koda stood on the bridge of the EDF Defender, Earth's largest warship. Around her, 20 smaller human ships formed a protective ring around Europa. It wasn't much compared to the Concord fleet, but it was all humanity had. Status report, she ordered. The solar defense grid is at full power. Her second-in-command replied. All non-essential personnel have been evacuated from Europa base. Only the research team and military support remain. Koda nodded. She had seen war before, but never against an enemy so powerful. Still, she had her orders. On Europa, Dr. Singh worked frantically with her team to develop a neural interface that could safely communicate with Echo. The device looked like a simple headband with small lights that pulsed in rhythm with the wearer's thoughts. "Will it work?" Elena asked, watching a volunteer test the device. "In theory, it should allow controlled communication with Echo without full neural takeover," Dr. Singh explained. "It creates a barrier that Echo can speak through but not cross." Wei entered the lab, his face grim. "Concord scout ships are testing our defenses. The Admiral stopped them, but it won't be long before they send their main force." Elena put on one of the neural interfaces. "Then we need to learn more now. Echo said it has knowledge the Concord wants to hide. Let's find out what that is." As the device activated, Elena felt a strange presence in her mind, not invasive, but like standing next to someone in a dark room. "Echo," she thought. Images flooded her mind. She saw vast cities among the stars, ships that traveled between galaxies, and technologies beyond human understanding. Then she saw darkness as Concord ships destroyed those cities one by one, stealing the technology and erasing all evidence of Echo's civilization. "They built their power on our backs." Echo's thoughts merged with hers. "The Concord rose by taking what was ours and hiding the truth." "Why do they fear you so much?" Elena asked. "Because I remember. And because buried throughout your solar system are pieces of our technology, dormant, waiting to be found." Elena's eyes snapped open. "There's technology hidden in our solar system. Echo's creators left it here eons ago." Wei looked skeptical. "If that's true, why haven't we found it?" "Because we weren't looking," Dr. Singh said. "And because we didn't have Echo to guide us." Outside, the first real battle began. A squadron of Concord ships broke through Earth's outer defenses and headed toward Europa. Admiral Koda's fleet moved to intercept. "We need more time," Elena said, watching the battle on the monitors. Ships exploded in silent bursts of light against the blackness of space. Lumiax joined them, his skin patterns showing concern. "Some of my people have developed a deeper connection with Echo. We call them the Echoes. They can communicate faster than normal methods." "How does that help us?" Wei asked. "They can send a message to the hidden technology," Lumiax replied. "Wake it up." As they discussed this possibility, Chancellor Oko made a system-wide broadcast from Earth. Her face was tired but determined. "People of Earth and her colonies, today we face our greatest challenge. The Concord demands we abandon our principles and surrender those who came to us for help. They believe we will break under pressure." She paused, then continued with fire in her eyes. "They are wrong. Humanity stands with the Na'vi. We will not surrender them, nor will we surrender our belief that all sentient beings deserve compassion and protection. If the price of joining the Concord is our humanity, then the price is too high." As she spoke, Elena made her decision. "We need to find that hidden technology. It's our only chance." The expedition team prepared their ship for the journey to Ceres, the largest object in the asteroid belt. Based on Echo's guidance through Dr. Singh, they believed a major piece of ancient technology was hidden beneath its surface. "This is a long shot," Wei said as he checked the ship's systems. "Even if there is something there, will we know how to use it?" Elena secured her gear. "Echo says the Na'vi Echoes can interface with the technology. That's why they're coming with us." 3 Na'vi floated in a special water tank installed in the ship. Their skin glowed with complex patterns that changed rapidly. They were in deep communication with Echo. As they launched from Europa, Admiral Koda's voice came through the communication system. "I can give you 12 hours of cover. After that, you're on your own." "Understood, Admiral," Elena replied. "We'll make it count." The small ship raced through space, dodging debris in the asteroid belt. Finally, they reached Ceres, a gray, rocky dwarf planet that looked unremarkable. "Where exactly are we supposed to look?" Wei asked. One of the Na'vi Echoes, named Clor, spoke through a translator. "There, in that crater. His skin glowed brightly as he pointed to a large depression on Ceres' surface. They landed and set up drilling equipment. For hours, they drilled deep into Ceres' core. Suddenly, their equipment hit something that wasn't rock. Metal, Elena said, examining the readings, and it's generating power. As they cleared away more rock, they uncovered a massive door with strange symbols. The Navi Echo's skin lit up with excitement. "This is it," Clore said. "A data repository. It contains knowledge from Echo's civilization." The Navi placed their hands on the door, their skin patterns matching the symbols. Slowly, the ancient door opened, revealing a chamber filled with crystal columns that glowed with inner light. Clore explained, "These crystals contain technological specifications far beyond current human understanding. Weapons, shields, faster-than-light communication, all here." As they began downloading the information to their devices, their ship's sensors detected movement. "Concord ships," Y warned. "They've spotted the power surge from the repository. 6 vessels heading this way." Elena contacted Admiral Coda. "Admiral, we found it, but Concord forces are approaching. We need more time to download the data." "Copy that," Coda replied. "We're on our way." The Earth ships raced to the asteroid belt, engaging the Concord interceptors. The battle was fierce, with Earth vessels taking heavy damage. "We're outmatched," Y said, watching the battle on their screens. "Our ships won't last long." Then Y had an idea. "Ceres has very weak gravity, and we're in an asteroid belt. What if we use that to our advantage?" Using the ship's tractor beams, they began moving smaller asteroids, creating a complicated maze around Ceres. The Concord ships, designed for open space combat, struggled to navigate the tight spaces. "It's working," Elena exclaimed as a Concord ship crashed into an asteroid. "But the download is still only at 60%. Clore's skin flashed with bright patterns. "The other Echoes on Europa have sensed our connection. They are sending a message." "What message?" Elena asked. "They're warning all Navy about a new Concord attack," Clore replied. "But they're also doing something else, something unexpected." On screens across the solar system, a new transmission appeared, bypassing normal channels. It was Chancellor Oko. But this broadcast wasn't coming from Earth. "People of the Concord," she began, "there is something your leaders haven't told you about the Navi and the entity called Echo." Chancellor Oko's message spread across space, carried by the Navi Echoes through channels the Concord couldn't block. Her face appeared on screens in ships and on planets throughout the galaxy. "Citizens of the Concord," she said, "I am Chancellor Martina Okoa of Earth. What you are about to see is the truth your leaders have hidden." The broadcast showed Echo's memories. The ancient civilization that came before the Concord, how the Concord's founders stole their technology, and how they had destroyed 7 other species who discovered the truth. "Echo is not a disease," Ocho continued. "It is the last survivor of a genocide, preserving knowledge your leaders don't want you to have." In the command center of the Concord fleet, Ambassador Xithri was replaced by Grand Marshal Ozorax, a tall, gray-skinned alien with 6 arms and cold black eyes. "Destroy that transmission source," he ordered. "Prepare all ships for full attack." But something unexpected happened. 3 Concord ships, 1 crystal sphere piloted by the philosopher engineers called the Terulian, 1 living vessel housing the hive mind Sovian clusters, and 1 ancient warship of the long-lived Drothi, broke away from the main fleet. They positioned themselves between Earth and the approaching Concord armada. "What is the meaning of this?" Ozorax demanded over the communication channel. The Terulian representative, a being of light and crystal, responded, "We joined the Concord to share knowledge, not hide it. Chancellor Okoa's message has brought questions we cannot ignore. Return to formation immediately," Ozorax ordered. Instead, the Terulian opened a channel to Earth. "Humans, we have heard your message. Many in the Concord were never told the truth about Echo or the Navi. We were told the void taint was a dangerous contagion, not a sentient entity. On Europa, Dr. Singh worked with the Navi Echoes and the data recovered from Ceres. Together, they developed a method to stabilize Echo's consciousness. It works, she exclaimed as a Navi volunteer successfully integrated with Echo while maintaining its own identity. We can communicate with Echo without losing ourselves. To demonstrate, Dr. Singh fully integrated with a portion of Echo. Her eyes glowed, but her voice and personality remained her own. "I am Anaya Singh," she said, "and Echo is with me. We share this mind as partners, not as controller and controlled." The news spread quickly. More Concord ships began breaking away from the main fleet, joining the protective blockade around Earth. Many species, especially those who had joined the Concord more recently, began questioning what other truths might have been hidden from them. Grand Marshal Ozorax, seeing his fleet falling into disarray, made a desperate decision. He ordered his flagship to target Europa with the Concord's most powerful weapon, the Star Hammer. "If we cannot have the knowledge, no one will," he said coldly. "Target Europa's ice crust. We will destroy the base and everyone in it." The massive weapon began to charge, its energy readings off the scale. Admiral Koda's damaged fleet couldn't intercept it, and the Earth defense grid couldn't reach that far. "We need to evacuate," Wei urged, as they returned from Ceres with the downloaded data. Elena shook her head. "There's no time." In this moment of crisis, Dr. Singh, still joined with Echo, had a realization. The data from Ceres. It includes activation codes for a defense system. Echo's creators left satellites throughout the solar system. "Can we use them?" Elena asked. Dr. Singh nodded, her glowing eyes intense. "Yes, but we'll need every Echo working together to activate the network. It's our only chance." As the Star Hammer prepared to fire, every Navi Echo joined minds, connecting with Dr. Singh and Echo in a unified consciousness that reached out to the ancient satellites hidden throughout the solar system. The Star Hammer charged to full power. Its energy beam, capable of penetrating Europa's thick ice crust, aimed directly at the base below. Everyone watched in horror, knowing they had seconds left. In the central chamber of Europa base, Dr. Singh stood surrounded by Navi Echoes. Their skin glowed with the brightest patterns anyone had ever seen as they joined their minds with Echo's consciousness. "Now," Dr. Singh called out, her eyes shining with the same light. Across the solar system, ancient satellites, hidden in asteroids, buried on moons, and drifting in forgotten orbits, suddenly activated. They had been waiting for thousands of years, dormant until called. The Star Hammer fired. Its devastating beam shot toward Europa. Just before impact, a shield of shimmering energy formed around the moon. When the beam hit, instead of destroying Europa, it scattered harmlessly into space in a beautiful display of colored light. On the Concord flagship, Grand Marshal Ozorax couldn't believe what he was seeing. Impossible. Fire again. But his officers hesitated, amazed by the ancient technology suddenly coming to life throughout the solar system. When Ozorax moved to fire the weapon himself, his own second-in-command stopped him. "This has gone too far," the officer said. "We will not commit genocide today." 3 weeks later, representatives from Earth, the Navi, and the reformed Concord factions met aboard the Horizon Asterisk. Chancellor Okoa, though tired from weeks of tense negotiations, stood proudly before the diverse group of aliens. "Today marks a new beginning," she said. "The lies of the past will be replaced with truth and cooperation." The Terulian speaker, a being made of crystal and light, floated forward. "We propose a new alliance, one that values knowledge and diversity rather than control. Echo's memories will be preserved, not destroyed." Dr. Singh, who now permanently shared her mind with a part of Echo, nodded in agreement. Echo offers access to its knowledge freely, asking only for the protection of the Navi and humanity in return. 6 months passed. Europa base had grown into a thriving underwater city where Navi culture flourished. Human scientists worked alongside Navi scholars, learning from each other and from Echo's vast knowledge. The new alliance, called simply the Accord, established its headquarters in orbit around Earth. The old Concord had fractured, with many species joining the new alliance while others retreated to their own territories. Admiral Koda stood beside Chancellor Oko as they watched the signing ceremony. Who would have thought that saving one alien race would change the entire galaxy? Oko smiled. That's the power of compassion. On an observation deck overlooking Europa's beautiful underwater city, Alina found Wei staring out at the Navi children playing with human children in a special shared habitat. Thinking deep thoughts? She asked. Wei smiled. Just realizing how close we came to losing all this. One decision, to help rather than turn away, changed everything. That's what humans do best, Alina said. When faced with fear or compassion, we choose compassion. Far below, in the deepest part of the ocean, Lumiax communed with the other echoes, their shared consciousness now a peaceful partnership rather than an invasion. Through them, Echo's ancient wisdom found new life, no longer persecuted but embraced. As Earth ships prepared to explore beyond their solar system, now with allies and advanced technology, humanity stepped into the stars not as conquerors or followers, but as teachers of a powerful lesson. That true strength comes not from power or control, but from the courage to protect the vulnerable, no matter the cost. And across the galaxy, the story spread of how, when every civilization abandoned them, humans decided to shield the alien race, and in doing so, changed the course of history forever.